So, one of my favorite topics to talk about. I wanted to get into it before we got into the fall, just because I always end up doing another layering video at the end of the year. But I want to talk about 10, 11 different fragrance layering combinations that I've been working with this year. That some of them just by accident, but they're actually very good. So if you guys layer fragrances or you want to get into layering fragrances, here are, I think it's 11 layering combinations that you should definitely check out. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back at you to talk about some layering combinations. You take a fragrance and you can do whatever you want, but you spray it together with another fragrance, which I'll tell you pretty much the 2 or 3 different ways to do that. Before we get into it, make sure to hit the subscribe button, everybody. Smash that like, comment below. Let me know what are some of your favorite layering combinations. So as far as layering, before we get into the actual combinations, there's really 2 main ways to do it. You spray the first fragrance down how you normally would. And if it's a really strong fragrance, obviously under spray, but you spray that down first. And then I usually wait about 10 to 20 seconds to let it dry a bit. And then on top of that, you will spray the second fragrance. And usually the second fragrance is the one that you want to stand out the most, while the one underneath, it's pretty plain and simple. It's usually the deeper or thicker or longer lasting fragrance. That's usually the one you want to put down first, but it all depends on which one you want to smell more of. If you want to smell almost exactly the same amount, but you want it to blend in the air, then what you do is you spray on the first fragrance, and then next to it, you spray on the second fragrance, and then they will just blend in the air. And then, so normally with my first layering combination, for instance, and one of my top 2 favorite layering combinations, this is Zara's The Most Wanted and Wanted by Night. So what I would do is, if I wanted to have the Wanted by Night be the more prominent of the 2, which I actually usually put this down first, I'll spray 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'll wait probably about a minute, and then I'll do the same thing, but I'll do like 1, 2, 3. And then I'll just be able to mesh them in the air. That's the way that it works, or I can spray it on top of each other. But that is the first layering combination. This one goes really well. It adds the fruits and woods and that amber wood. Just it adds a little bit more spice and fruitiness to The Most Wanted. If you haven't tried this, I'm telling you, they need to make a flanker called The Most Wanted by Night. And that would be a fantastic flanker if they mix these 2 together. If you haven't tried it, I definitely recommend layering. You'll find your sweet spot as how many sprays you want to do. Obviously, it all depends on how thick the fragrances are, how light they are. Sometimes I just go, and then the second one, whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyway, this is a newer layering combination I just came up with because the Mind Games one, it's a little bit more simplistic, especially when you get to the dry down. When it opens up, it's more like a citrus cream pie, but as it dries, it just becomes more of a woody vanilla. This is Mind Games the Forward, and I wanted to add some citrus to it, and so I added this Pacific Lime, which adds a nice lime mixture to that creamy vanilla. It is a very, very beautiful scent with a little touch of coconut from this. Really, really nice. If you have any kind of lime or citrus heavy fragrance, that goes really good with the Forward. Just an FYI, but to me, that's my favorite of the layerings with the Forward. The next one is one that I've been doing for years, and I got this one, I believe it was from Jensen's before I even started my channel. This is Acqua di Gio Profondo, but you can pretty much use any Acqua di Gio outside of the Absolute and Absolute Instinct. And then you spray it together with Missoni Wave. This one, usually you put down the Acqua di Gio in the Missoni Wave on top, but again, it doesn't matter. Whichever profile you want to have more of, you just put on top. It gets this kind of creamy, watery, more like aquatic tone on top of this, which I really enjoy, and it dials down the aromatic and green tones of the Acqua di Gio. Going into the next one, this is my favorite layering combination and probably my favorite fragrance and most complimented fragrance of all time. I just can't put it in the top 10 favorite fragrances because of the fact that it's a layer. But with that said, it is Boss Bottled and Spice Bomb Infrared, either the EDT or EDP. I prefer the EDT. You can also use Boss Bottled Eau de Parfum Intense, but I don't want to waste that for a layer. So, a lot of people always talk about apple pie scents. Parfums de Marly Warjon, there's no apple in that. Killian Angel Share, there's no apple in that. There's a lot of fragrances. People were like, oh, that's an apple pie. It's not. It's a cinnamon pie or a cinnamon bun drink. There is no apple located in those fragrances. But with this, there is. This is a fresh apple fragrance with sandalwood and plum. And the plum's not really noticeable. It's just a nice fruity undertone. But the apple and the cinnamon are really prominent in this with this fresh sandalwood underneath it. And then this one brings in the richness of that warm apple pie, as well as more cinnamon, a little bit more fruits. It smells like a warm apple pie. Very, very nice. You can also mix this with Killian Angel Share to add a little bit more cinnamon, or this to add the apple to Angel Share. Any of those work, but this is my favorite layering combination. My wife said this is my signature scent. It adds freshness so you can wear it all year round. Very, very, very nice. This is a unique one. I tried this out because I smelled Lolita Lempicka Green Lover, and it's supposed to be like a minty vanilla orange creamsicle. But the thing is the mint doesn't show itself too much, so I like to add 2 sprays of this underneath it to add the mint. This is a very heavy mint scent. There's also You Are Only You by Etat de Libre Orange. That has the mojito mintiness. You can substitute that for this. But spray 2 to 3 sprays of this underneath Lolita Lempicka Green Lover, which is about 20 or 30 bucks. Smells like an orange creamsicle. And then you add the mint and it adds mintiness. It's just literally added mint to that, which I think it should have had already. It just adds a really nice minty tone to it. So you do want to underspray because that fragrance is very strong. And if you add 5 or 6 sprays, it'll just overtake the Lolita after about a half hour. Anyway, this is the safest and probably the most mass appealing. This is like a layering combination kids would want to do in school. This is Versace Pour Homme and basically any YSLY. I don't own the EDP, but for kids, they'd probably choose the EDP. For me, I chose YSLY Live. This is discontinued. You mix these together, it just adds this nice creamy woody tone and a little bit more of a creamy aromatic to this fragrance. And any YSLY, you mix it together with this, Chanel Allure Homme Sport, Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme, or Missoni Wave, and you're going to get the same feeling. But any YSLY mixed together with this outside of the elixir, and you will be killer, and people will be giving you some compliments. If you want to have a cheapy layering combination, this one works really, really well. You would put Latafa Hamra down first, and then on top of this, the only time I've ever wore Hamra is for this. And then I was trying a layering combination, and I found out that if you put this, which is slightly like a less powdery version of Spice Bomb Extreme, Spice and Black Vanilla by Cremo, on top of about 2 to 3 sprays of Hamra, adds a little bit of this spicy vanilla on top of it, and it dials down the rich tones of the Hamra, which I really enjoy the way that that comes off. Would I choose it over the rest of these? I would not, but for anybody who does like clones and cheapies, that one does work very well. This one I just found out. It was because I bought them at the exact same time, and I sprayed them together, forgetting that I was wearing the one, but it works so well. Like, I have it on my hand right now because it smells so good. Xerjoff Torino 24 and Blue Talisman. Picture, you make sure that you're one of the people that gets a lot of pear from this. If not, then it's a moot point. It's pear and mango bubblegum, and you put them together. It's so freaking good. If you just want like a little bit of a blue shower gel tone underneath a pear and mango bubblegum, Blue Talisman and Torino 24 are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. This is one of my favorite to wear during the winter. It just literally adds some, picture a chocolatey baby cat. So you put down baby cat first, and then on top of it, 2 sprays, maybe 3, of Montal's Chocolate Greedy, which just smells like Cocoa Puffs. Mix that together with baby cat, and you have just a chocolatey vanilla explosion. It smells so good. I mean, this is so delectable. If you're looking for a gourmand, this is a gourmand masterpiece. Baby cat and chocolate greedy. Basically, baby cat and any chocolate fragrance goes so well together. Even coffee fragrances go well with baby cat. This is my scent of the day, actually. I love this one because it adds this ambery blue backbone, and it kind of takes the leather and dials it down from the Cedrat Boisé. It is Cedrat Boisé mixed together with Versace Dylan Blue, with Dylan Blue on the bottom and Cedrat Boisé on the top. That is the way I've done it. I haven't done the reverse, so I couldn't tell you how it is. Oh, it's so good. You get more of the vanilla and green tones of the Cedrat Boisé pulling up, while you get the spice and the ambery tones from this, and a little bit less of the blue tones from it. But it comes off so nice. Absolutely fantastic. I recommend this 10 out of 10 as far as a layering combination, as far as something that you wouldn't think to use. And the last one, it's pretty easy to think what this would smell like, because I was like, I want to add a little bit more coffee. Even though there's coffee in the dry down, I want to add more coffee to the opening of this. And so the only way to do that, but I didn't want it to be overpowering, was to mix Xerjoff Uden on the top, and on the bottom you do Replica Coffee Break, but I have switched them and I'm not sure which one I like better yet. The Replica on top with 2 sprays, or 5 sprays underneath 4 sprays of this. I wasn't sure, and again, you have to work with what sprays you have to see the best mixture, but this starts out like a citrus cream pie, and it blends into this like coffee and rum with this kind of freshness on top. It's my favorite Xerjoff. And then I just wanted to add some more coffee. This is just kind of like a calming cappuccino. And then put that underneath it, and it's absolutely fantastic. But that is 10 or 11 different cologne combinations that are great for layering. If you have any other questions about how to do it, just let me know in the comments. If you have any other any other layering combinations, I can't talk. Any other layering combinations that you would like me to talk about or try, please let me know in the comments. And again, I'll be back with another one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Peace out.